Hello, my name is Kehinde Adegoke, otherwise known as Kenny Crown. I'm a writer, a speaker, liberation, and intentional lifestyle coach. And you are welcome to Monday Motivation. On this platform, we motivate, inspire you, liberating you from just living into intentional living. And if this is your first time being here, please do not hesitate to like, subscribe, share, and follow us. Most importantly, we would love to hear from you. So please use the comment section to drop your comment or your addition, probably your questions, and we'll be happy to answer every one. Our book is still very much selling on Amazon. Please head straight to Amazon and type in books by Kehinde Adegoke, and it's just gonna pop down and you can purchase your copy. Trust me, those books are written just for you. So what are we talking about today? So today we're looking at how can I be prolific. I'm sure you must be wondering, like, why do I need to be prolific? Yeah, for everyone who's in faith, you must have heard that word fruitfulness. So it's an act of being extremely productive, so which means that you're producing in abundance. There's a mass production. It's like you've been to the bakery before and then you can see them pouring the ingredient, mixing all of the ingredients together, then pouring it in to bring out the shape of the bread that they want. The bread just keeps sliding down, and this is not the point where they make a prepare for just one bread. No, they understand that they're making a mass production, so they've added all the ingredients that will be enough to produce as much that is required. So the same thing is you as well being prolific. How can you be prolific? Producing or multiplying something that is already in existence. So which means that what you have already been given, the talent or the gift that you already have, or how you've been supporting people. So you're just supporting just one person at the moment, so you're thinking, I think that what I have could actually be enough to feed a lot of people. I believe that I have this value that could empower a multitude, and I want to start seeing the increase. See, as a child of God, we have been called to be fruitful and multiply. For you to be fruitful, then there has to be a place of production inside of you. You must have a seed that has been given to you. So what is your seed? Your seed could be your purpose, your talent, your areas of gifting, whatever that you are best at doing. Those are your seeds. And once your seeds are being planted, then you begin to get your fruit. And once you have your fruit, you begin to multiply the fruit that you have. Okay, I hope you're being able to understand what I'm trying to say. So we have been called to the place of multiplication, not a place of less production. Okay, so remember that on this platform will liberate you from just living into intentional living. So which means that from that place of saying, you know what, I think I'm content with where I am, with what I'm doing. Come on, there is more attached, there is more involved, there is more to you, there is more to that assignment that God has given to you. It goes beyond just one person. Yes, it's good to start with one person, but once you have that nudge in your spirit, or your heart is contending and you know that it's coming from a good place, you need to go for more. You need to intensify your efforts. So take, for instance, you've been in a job for a long period of time and you've been paid, let's say 12,000 naira, but at some point you have that hunger in your spirit, knowing that I know what I'm producing, I know my effort here, I know the seed that I'm planting here, I know how God has empowered me in this place. I think that I should go for something higher. See, do not let anyone talk you down to say that you're not ready. For your heart to be able to project that to you, it means that there is a room for expansion. There is a room, or there is a need for you to intensify your effort to get to your desired place where you can be paid more than 12,000. Yes, there was going to be some challenges that will be involved. There will be some sacrifices. There will be some things that you have to do. Like people would say, you need to up your game so that you'll be able to get to those places. So if you have to get to conferences, get yourself into trainings, get yourself to meet the requirements to be able to achieve that particular thing. If you're now wondering, how can I even be prolific? Mine is the area of purpose. God has given me this purpose. I've been working with it. I've been seeing results in the life of people that are around me. Now God is telling you to expand your tent. How do you do this? Remember that it is a seed that grows to germinate into fruit. And then the more land you get is how much seeds that you're going to plant in different sector to be able to have that massive or mass production. The first thing you need to do is understand seasons and time. Remember, if you ask any farmer and tell them that you want to plant this at this time, they can tell you, oh, if you plant an orange at this season, you may not be able to get as much. If you plant yam at this season, this season is not too good for yam. Maybe wait for this particular season, because they've been able to understand the time, they've understood the season, they know when that seed or whatever you're planting is going to grow, and also they've been able to test that ground and know that yes, it's a fertile ground, that whatever you sow on that ground you will reap. So it is important that you understand the seasons of your life. Don't rush. When it's not time for you to expand, please don't do that. Understand where you are, be content with where you are. But if you have that nudge in your spirit that now is the time, you have that conviction, you just know that you're just so tired of where you are, it is now time for you to move forward, then move. That is you understanding the seasons of your life, understanding the times in your life to expand, to go further. And the next one is you need to know your seed. So what is your seed? What do you intend to plant in the life of people? What are you called to do? Do you know it? How accurate are you with it? How good or relevant is it? Are you sure of your seeds? Is that where you have been called into? So you want to take note of that. You want to know your seed. You want to understand your seed. You want to be sure that that seed will definitely produce good fruit or will help other people grow in those places or areas that they've called you into. Then the next one is, do you have the knowledge about planting? It is not about just opening the ground and just putting your seed and then just closing it up. No, you need to understand, because there are some seeds that there's a depth at which you have to go with that seed to grow. If you just open it a little bit and then just put your seed in it, you can realize that, maybe a bird can come and just take it away. Once they peck on the ground, they're able to reach it. So maybe it has the depth at which it's supposed to go. So you need to understand your planted area of purpose. How much am I supposed to help people? How deep do I need to go? So which means that questioning, positive questioning is required, so that you can be able to get the knowledge of what you are doing, what you're planting in the heart of people, what they need, what their requirements are, and how to meet those requirements. So the next one is, how are you willing to persevere in planting? So many times, when you're going through the process and you're trying to get everything ready, you're trying your best, you're making sure that the right ingredient is in everything that you're doing. You know that you have to persevere to watch it grow. It is not the day that you plant a seed that seed begins to grow. You must be willing to be patient. I've been in a coaching with someone that it feels like this person is taking forever to grasp what I'm trying to say. But with patience, I was able to understand. Some people are fast learners, some people are slow learner. So which means that you need to know the strength of each person and that you've been called to. The same way that you related with that person can be different from another person. So which means that you need to be able to persevere, to watch it grow, to see it grow, mirror the growth, see the changes. When you're patient enough, you'll be able to see even those things that you're not paying too much attention on before, because then you're watching, your attention is on it, and then you're taking it slow and steady. Then you begin to see the different changes. It's just like you're teaching your child how to write. Maybe they don't know how to write before. Then you begin to see them scribble. Then you watch them writing a letter. Then they proceed into writing a word. Then they can write a sentence. Those moments are enjoyable moments, even though you're thinking you should be able to get this in 5 minutes, but it doesn't work that way. So patience is virtue. It's one of the virtue that you need to get if you are looking to be prolific, to be productive, in order to multiply. Ensure that you set your long and your short-term goals that will help you in this period of being patient. At each point that you're reaching each milestone, you're able to see the growth, the difference and also the result. So the next one is, it is important that you water anything that you are planting. So whatever you're doing, you want to pay close attention to it. Sometimes you're just saying that, I think this thing is not forming as much as it should. Then you're quickly making adjustments, Even in planting, the farmer goes sometimes to take out the weeds that could choke up the seeds that is being planted. So they go there, they try to make the surroundings good. For anything that you're planting, you need to be able to pay close attention to what you're doing. Watch the fruit that is being produced. What needs adjustment? Or what should I leave to continue to grow? It is important to produce with love. Whatever you are producing, check your motive for what you're producing. Don't just produce because, yes, I just want people to know that I'm really good at this. Or, yes, I just want people to know that, I can just finish this in the next 10 or 15 minutes. That's not the point. Listen, it is not about the quantity, it is about the quality of what you're producing. So if you're producing 1,000, ensure that if people pick up your product different times at different states, they can get the same value. Not that the first one is good, the second one is bad, the third one is almost there, the fourth one felt like it's rushly baked, the other one you somehow, at that point you're going to destroy the flow of your product. You're going to affect your brand. You will not be trustworthy. People would always second guess. I hope I'm picking the right one now, which could have been avoided. If you're going into massive production, ensure that you retain the value. Ensure that each one of them has the same value and the same quality. So it is important that you produce from the place of love, not from the place of covetousness. Oh, this thing makes money, let me make a lot of it so that I can get more money. No, let it not be because of that. Let your motive be right. Let it be because you love the people who desire your product. Make sure that it is meeting their needs. Make sure that it's meeting their requirements, and it is also solving the problem at which you started out for. So it is important that you produce from the place of love, because that way you remain relevant and your credibility is intact. The next one is bloom where you are planted. Most times, you can have different abilities and you think that you are multi-talented and you're just finding yourself doing this and doing that, and in the process it comes out as jack of all trade and master of none. If you are called in one, take for instance, you're called into baking bread, make sure that people know you for that bread. They know you for the nourishment that bread brings, the freshness of that bread. Ensure that you are there where you are planted. You're blooming in your place of purpose, wherever God has called you into. Make sure you're there. However, that is not to say that all other talents, maybe you're good in singing, it does not mean that you cannot collaborate with other people who it is their place of calling. You can collaborate with them, you can do as much as you can finance them, you can do all sorts that you want to do with them, but do not leave your place. Bloom in your place. Bloom where you have been called. Remain in it and flourish through it. And the very last one is be grateful at all times, and make sure that you're going to bed at all times with peace, knowing that you are accomplished and you've fulfilled something today. If you follow all of this step, you will realize that you're living a prolific life. There's no way that you're planting on a good soil. Your seed is great. You are watering it and you're surrounding yourself with love, uprooting and taking out things that will choke up your seeds, and continuous watering with patience, with love, with care, and you will not produce good fruit. It is not possible. Before you know it, you will realize that there is expansion. But there is one thing I want you to remember. Do not rush into mass production. Ensure that even while you are mass producing, you still retain the value of where you started out from, or from the original plan that you set out for. And I know that you will begin to receive the reward that comes with your production. So have a fabulous week, and I will see you again next week. Bye now.